We were lovers for the first time, running on the red lights. The middle finger was our peace sign, yeah. We were sipping on emotion, smoking and inhaling every moment.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video, kind of like a haul almost, of all the stuff that I have, not all the stuff, but like my favorite things that I've purchased, and kind of at the same time, simultaneously telling you guys how I decorated my apartment, because it has been quite the journey, and it's important to remind myself that, you know, it is, once again, a marathon, not a sprint, because I feel like when you move, you just want everything to get finished, but I mean, let's be real here, apartments take a long time to furnish. Like, I don't know how my mom and dad ever furnished an entire house. Like, praise you guys, that's amazing if you guys have done that. Also, by the way, I apologize for my hair. It's doing its own thing today, and that is quite alright because I'm doing my own thing too. We don't need each other. So if you guys do enjoy this video, be sure you stick around by subscribing, check out my other social medias, and without further ado, let's just talk about some good stuff. So whenever I was apartment hunting, you guys might remember that vlog that I did of all the different apartments that I toured. My favorite apartments were this one that I live in, obviously, and then this other one, which was a townhouse. While the townhouse was everything I wanted and more in an apartment, it didn't have amenities, and so like cons outweighed the pros. So I had to kiss like those beautiful floors goodbye, which was a very hard time for me. My aesthetic to a Z. I was like, shit, how do I make this like modern looking apartment, which reminds me of like my roommate, Caitlin, into my southwestern bohemian paradise. So I now am trying to perfect my southwestern glam apartment. Wish me luck. Hopefully by the end of summer to show you guys a tour of my living room, dining room area, because right now I have no idea like what color rug to even begin to think about getting. I'm low-key waiting for my friend Krista to come visit me. She's really good at like home interiors, so friends, man. They're great. So whenever I was moving, I knew that I wanted to kind of budget myself because it's really easy to get carried away with home decor because everything is so expensive. And I knew I wanted stuff that would last me a really long time. So I wanted a couch that would transfer over to whatever apartment I ended up in next, and that I really truly loved, as opposed to just like buying the cheap IKEA couch. And so I actually went with a Anthropologie couch. I've rambled way too much. I need to start showing you guys what I have. The first thing I really recommend, and this is really weird, is find one thing that like really gets you going and then just kind of go with that. And so that's what I did. I found this throw, and this throw blanket is from Anthropologie. I worked at Free People, so I had the Anthropologie discount, and so I ended up getting this for probably around like $70, which is really expensive for a blanket, I agree, but it is the prettiest blanket I've ever seen. You guys will have seen this in my Instagrams. That kind of helped everything else kind of fall into place. And now I'm gonna show you guys a few things that I picked up for my living room from Target. And Target right now is slaying the game. I used to be a snob, I'm not gonna lie, and I used to be like, I'm not shopping at Target because that is so basic, and now here I am, I'm basic as shit. I didn't want to spend a lot of money. Decorating sucks, honestly. Decorating is the worst because you have to buy a bunch of little tiny things and they're like $20 or more. So the first thing I have to show you guys is this $20, I think, wall hang. And I bought this with no idea of where I was actually gonna put this. And something I also have to warn you guys about, if you go to Target and you have no idea like what you're really doing, don't do that. Don't go to Target not knowing what you're doing and what you're buying, because you can get carried away and then you end up coming home and being like, this doesn't even go with my apartment. This was an impulse buy, and it ended up being a good impulse buy because I actually ended up hanging this with command strips behind my kitchen like backsplash or whatever. I mean, there's not much to it. It's just wood, black, wall hanging. $20, I thought that was a really good deal because wall hangings are so expensive. Empty space stresses me out to no end, which is why I'm like stressed out kind of sitting where I am right now. But if you guys have a lot of like empty wall space, I highly recommend this little set that you can get from Target. It's 4 different rattan, here I go again, being Sarah, not being able to pronounce everything. I swear I'm like, I can talk, but I recommend this. You can either hang them obviously in that square, or you can stack them on top of each other. And I think this costed me about $25 to $30 for this, and this is like a really good deal because this style is really in right now. And so I was all about that and matched my peacock chair, so I was like, sold. So the next thing I have is another thing from Target, and it is this wall hanging. I actually got this one for a steal. I think I got this for like $23, and it's a relatively large one. Granted, it's not like the most like mind-blowing details, but I was like, you know, that's pretty cute for $23, so I picked it up. The colors match perfectly. It matched my sofa and everything like that. But I kind of like, once I hung it, I kind of was like, okay, this looks like way too basic Urban Outfitters for me. So I spiced it up myself. I took this little Hobby Lobby cow skull that I have. I got this for $6.50. I love cow skulls, as you guys know, and I actually put this on the same like little pin that's in the wall, and together I think they look so awesome. I'm really kind of like, it's really exciting for me because it's like so me and it gets me really excited. So yeah, this total was $30. It's so much easier than you think to decorate on a budget, guys. Obviously, guys, I have to talk about my peacock chairs. And I actually have 2 peacock chairs in my apartment, which I know is so aggressive. And I wanted to talk to you guys basically about how I went about finding them because I got a lot of questions on them. I love them. And so I have always wanted one. I've wanted one for like 2 years now. And so when I moved into this apartment, I knew for a fact I was going to get that. So the one behind me is my favorite one. I actually got this at a local vintage like consignment store. This is what I recommend about purchasing a peacock chair. If you guys live in a big city, I would recommend Craigslist. And I know it's very, 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 very sketchy to purchase things off Craigslist, but you guys, there are so many peacock chairs because people find them in their old garages or their parents' garages, and they're like, what am I gonna do with this because it's so aggressive, and they're just trying to get rid of it. So oftentimes you can find one for about $200 on there, which is an amazing deal. That's actually kind of how I went about purchasing the white one that's in my room. I contacted the seller and found out that it was actually at an antique mall, and then I went and purchased it there, so that was very easy for me. But if you are purchasing a peacock chair from Craigslist, go purchase it with like family members and pay them in cash. I also recommend using the hashtag peacock chair on Instagram. That's actually how I found that one. So I try to always link some in the description box because I know, you know, it's a lot harder to find them if you're not in a very peacock chair city. So the next things I wanted to show you guys are actually the kind of color scheme that I'm going with in my bedroom. And I don't think I've actually showed you guys this, but I purchased these 2 things from Anthropologie. I love them so much. They're so pretty. I knew that I didn't want to go like too overboard with pillows because I knew I went a little overboard with pillows at my old place. And so when I found this one, I was like, okay, then that kind of solidifies the color scheme because I still wanted some color in my apartment. But I didn't necessarily want it in my living room. Come on, it's so pretty. It's just got like a little llama on the back. It's pretty, it's really pretty. But I also recommend Home Goods for pillows because I actually bought this one behind me right here from Home Goods for $13. So I'm not saying you need like top-notch pillows for your apartment. And then to match that, I got the matching throw blanket because can't say no. I don't have self-control or anything like that. So this is the blanket. It just has a lot of like cool detailing on it, like arrows, and so like I said, that kind of pulled together like the colors that I was going for in my bedroom. And I actually found a rug that matched perfectly, and it's getting me super excited. And I know that these colors and stuff, if I ever get my dream apartment with those like reclaimed wood floors, or I hate having carpet in my bedroom, it sucks, but that rug is really cool. So it goes great with the silver furniture that I have that I will show you eventually whenever Anthropologie sends me my new one. One of the last things I wanted to show you guys in this haul video was this basket that I actually got from World Market. It was only like $35, and I think it's so pretty. If you guys know what a Moroccan wedding like blanket, rug, or anything like that is, this is kind of like a basket that kind of resembles that basket, which I actually use to hold my laundry. And this has like a few days worth of laundry. I try to do my laundry like once a week, once every other week or something like that. just because I go through my gym clothes so fast. But this is super duper nice. Just something I really wanted to show you guys real quick. So I've shown you guys my wishbone chair before, so I purchased that from Target. I get a lot of questions on it. I'll be linking that in the description box too. I love it. I think it's so cool. So check it out. So that kind of concludes this little home decor haul that's kind of all over the place. I just really wanted to show you guys like my favorite things that I've purchased while also kind of telling you guys how to bargain hunt and everything like that, because I know apartment hunting and moving and everything like that can be super expensive. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you guys did, be sure you give it a big thumbs up. It will help me out so much. Stick around by subscribing, by clicking this button right here, and you can also check out another video right here if you just want to have a marathon. You know, no judgment. I always have marathons. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye!